welcome to the Sprint 26 reporting workshop. Can you imagine we've done this 26 times already? We're closing 13 years on the 13th of June. And you know what happened? For the first time in 26 reporting workshops, one of our keynote speakers did not show up. I guess the number 13 has something to do with all of this, but I'm not superstitious in any way. But the good news is we have an even better keynote stepping in the form of Pekka Abramson, who I will introduce in just a minute. But in any case, I'm looking forward to this, so welcome. For those of you that are not aware of Software Center, this is Software Center. Yeah, we are 15 companies, 5 universities, with the entire focus of improving the digitalization capability of the European software-intensive industry. Yeah, so that's us. I think many of you know this, but for those of you that are a bit new here, I may not be as aware of this. But we are not a Chalmers Center, we're not a Gothenburg Center, we are a European center with 5 universities involved, and we basically have companies from Sweden, Denmark, Germany, and we happily add other countries as well. This is all part of what is referred to as the Digital Product Management Week. We started on Monday with a PhD defense by one of the Software Center PhD students, Aishwarya Rai, who looked into data pipelines for AI. We had a very good time with her. Then on Tuesday, we kicked off the ISPMA International Software Product Management Association Summit for 2 days, which was, I think, really amazing. And I want to thank the people that were on the board for their trust in allowing us to organize this. In parallel, we ran an academic conference. The 2 academics that ran it just stepped into the room in the very back. We ran a startup event, which is still ongoing. I mean, some of the people are actually in the room here. And we ran a summer school. Christoph, where are you? There is Christoph. Christoph is basically whipped a few PhD students to Gothenburg and is taking them through what does it take to start a successful startup, roughly. Is that correct? Yeah, so what was the main theme that came again and again and again in all the keynotes presentations in the Digital Product Management Week? Well, it's generative AI. Surprise, surprise. We had Luca Cienkiewicz-Fries from King. He is the head of AI at King, you know, the company behind Candy Crush, now part of Microsoft, talking about generative AI. Yesterday we had Pekka talking about generative AI. In the morning we had Niklas Nygren from Volvo Cars talking about all the data that they're working with also in order to support their AI applications. So it's all about AI. So then I asked ChatGPT, can you give me a graph on how generative AI is developing? So this is the graph that ChatGPT generated for me. How cool is that? I thought it was pretty fun. Then later on, as I think many of you are aware of, we got funding from Vinnova, the first public funding that we've really had over the entire existence of Software Center. So now the state is funding us too. So finally, your tax dollars or tax kroner are going to something useful, right? So we got 39 or 36, I think it's 39 million from Vinnova over a number of years. And later on, Mick, where are you sitting? Mick, there you are. We'll talk a little bit more about how things are going with Codic, the Continuous Digitalization Competence Center. We also have one of the other Competence Center representatives. Maria, where are you sitting? There he is. So there is another Competence Center, next G to come, which I wasn't quite sure how to interpret. I said next generation to come, but that wasn't quite accurate. It's much more complicated than that. So go and talk to her and tell her how fabulous Software Center is, because she's trying to learn how to do this. Right, Maria? Is that fair? Good. So we're having a lot of fun here. The other thing that we focused on during the spring is collaborations. And Malin has to help me because I'm actually not sure if I got everything in place. But what we did was we have later on today a presentation by Software Competence Center Hagenberg. Rudolf is sitting somewhere in the audience, I hope. There is Rudolf. Very good. We have collaboration with AI Sweden. I don't know if anyone from AI Sweden is here today. We're talking to Lindholmen Science Park, who very graciously there's Lindholmen Science Park actually sponsored a reception last night, which we really appreciated, if nothing else, because I was really hungry and they were even offering food, which is a good thing, right? And there were drinks. You missed the drinks? Just saying. Yeah, Gate AI is a center in Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm on the board of that, and we're increasingly building up collaboration with them. And some of you may have been, I know, were contacted around some of the projects around LLMs that we're doing with them. And we have other competence centers like next to, and of course, ISPMA, Hans Bent, I couldn't resist adding you. Did I miss anyone, Marlon, in terms of collaborations? You sure? We have all the competence centers. Okay, good. Agenda for today. I hope someone updated the slides. Well done. I'm almost done with my opening. I think I'm already late. Then it will be Pekka, who will get actually a little bit more time than what we gave him here, because he has the most amazing presentation, and I'm looking forward to that. It's all going to be about Gen AI, and be ready to have your mind blown, because this guy rocks. Just saying. Expectation going up, Pekka. Just saying. Then we have community updates and introduction to the poster sessions. Magnus, is Magnus here? I haven't seen him yet. I hope he shows up, because the systems engineering community is doing really well. They had, I think, 2-day session at Tetra Pak earlier this spring, I think a few weeks ago. Miroslav will talk about the work going on in the metrics team. Jan Carlsen will talk about the architecture theme. Christian will talk about what is happening in continuous integration and tests. Christian, where are you? There you are. Helena, you're also going to say something? Yes. And then Mikael will talk a little bit about Codic. And then between 11:15 and 12:15, we have the poster and mingle session. The posters are in the back. That's also where the coffee is, so make sure you go there. And then lunch break is 12:15 to 1300. Yeah, so you have 45 minutes to eat, and you have to pay yourself. Why do you have to pay yourself? Because the Software Center Steering Committee at some point decided that they wanted to put the money into research projects and not into making you gain even more weight. Sorry. In the afternoon, we have Jon Lantz. Jon, where are you? There's Jon. He will talk about complete system architecture and integration. Yeah, is that as close as I was able to get, or Marlon was able to get? Then Marlon will talk a little bit about competence center community. There will be an update from Codic. Rudolf will talk a little bit about Hagenberg, and then we have breakout sessions where Helena and I will run a session about the end of Agile. Anyone here enthusiastic about the end of Agile? Good. Here's my point. We've been trying for more than 20 years to get Agile in place. It still isn't in place. And at some point you have to ask yourself the question, if I've been telling people for well over 10 years, just try harder, and it doesn't work, maybe, just maybe, the paradigm doesn't work anymore and we have to move on to something else. I see everyone is now completely silent, like, but Jan, Agile, I like Agile, I want Agile. Yeah, come to the session if you're curious, we'll talk more about it. And then there is another session organized by Miroslav, Jan and Christian, software engineering in a post-Gen AI world. And after that, I'm pretty sure that many of you will, after this keynote, I'm pretty sure many will go to that session. Then we have a panel discussion. I have no idea what the panel is about, but Marlon will tell me later. And then we have closing, and before 5 o'clock you're all out of here, I promise. How does that sound? Is that okay? Woo! And with that, I would like to transition as quickly as possible to, I'm just the opening act. The main act is just coming up. He often refers to himself as the Lordy representative. Is that fair, Pekka? Or not so much? And he doesn't have a microphone yet, or does he? No, he does. Pekka Abramson and I go back to 2001, he reminded me of yesterday, when we for the first time met at a conference, an ICSI conference, International Conference on Software Engineering, and we liked each other from the beginning. You wanted to show Eurovision, right?
We keep winning Eurovision all the time.
Yes.
That is Finland, I'm saying. Almost too many times.
It's becoming embarrassing, right? Yes,
it's
exactly.
A little bit.
Over the years, Pekka has gone over a variety of different universities, and in some way, he has always been able to capture upcoming and interesting trends in software engineering, and then putting his own unique perspective on it and sharing his insights with the world. And I'm very, very, very much looking forward to hearing from Pekka again what the world of generative AI has to offer to us. So Pekka, the floor is yours.